Diablo 4's new class may just have been revealed, and people care about that as much as I cared to make that intro just now. AK, not at all, in fact. Literally, no one cares. New class, I haven't even still tried to even play the old class, the Spirit Board, because it looks like garbage and it plays like garbage. But Diablo 4 has been saved. I mean, look at this. I don't want to stop looking at this. A little bit more of this and maybe Diablo 4 is going to be a good game. I mean, look at this. Someone clearly understood the objective. Someone clearly, finally, in Diablo 4 designed something for gamers. And most likely has already been fired for actually, once in their lives, making something that, you know, the players want. But, hey, this is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie, at least.
Starting with Diablo news, we got official confirmation that the tower launches into beta on Monday with patch.
Wow, I don't know what the tower actually is. Maybe I did, but I've forgotten. I mean, does anyone care? Is that supposed to be like a leaderboard? I don't know.
Patch 252, along with leaderboards. Interestingly, there is no balance patch that comes with this, just bug fixes. I was expecting a balance patch. Leaderboards are going to run in...
You know what we never talk about? It's the fact that Diablo 4 has more bugs than all of Bethesda's games combined. By the way, I'm serious about that. Diablo 4, half the numbers don't add up correctly. Half the things don't actually work, and half the things that do work are not actually intended interactions. It is crazy how there's a 7 out of 10 chance that whatever you're currently playing, or whatever you played a year ago in Diablo 4, is still bugged and interacts improperly with everything that there is. It is insane, actually, the state of Diablo 4. Everything doesn't actually work in the game.
2-week rounds throughout the rest of the season. That's also interesting. 2-week rounds. In the future, once the tower is no longer a beta feature, they'll be attaching some kind of rewards, likely titles or cosmetics or something for reaching either certain ranks or benchmarks. But outside of the tower, we're now 4 weeks into Season 11, and this has still been the best season of Diablo 4 yet. The Goblin event was a big success this season, and it hit at the
No one likes goblins. If you like goblins, you failed at life.
Right time. They didn't wait too late this time. That's something I'd forgotten to consider when talking about retention last week. Often these events hit when people are mostly already done with the season, and they don't really serve to bring people back. But if you have the event start before the time people are done with the season, well, then you can get them to play another week or so thanks to the event, and I think that's exactly what we saw here. Outside of that, people are still discovering new Sanctification outcomes, and by that I don't mean, like, there are new Sanctification outcomes emerging that no one has seen, but, like, individual people are getting Sanctification outcomes that they didn't think personally, you know, were possible. Things like getting plus to all skills or plus to gem strength. So there's still little discoveries for folks. And it's always great to see someone's reaction the first time they realize that it's possible to get 5 GA items this season. Ultimately, Diablo 4 is in a state where it's able to deliver a great amount of fun for a set number of hours.
Now, I have heard this opinion before, but honestly, I don't think this is true. I really don't. You know why? It's because all of this hinges on literally just Sanctification, aka blatantly ripping off Path of Exile's Corruption 141. Which is a good move, but I mean, what does this honestly tell you about Diablo 4 when the only thing that people actually like about the game is a blatant copy of another game's mechanics, and before that, people liked nothing about the game? Like, what does that honestly tell you?
Per season. Due to the rapid pace of progression, you can burn through those hours pretty quickly, and Sanctification, though, is able to tap into a form of late-game crafting that keeps the tail end of the journey a bit more interesting, delivering something that the game desperately needed. I hadn't realized how...
Again, this is my prediction. I think they're gonna botch Sanctification. I think they're gonna make it super easy that everyone can get the outcome that they want, and once again destroy any late game that game actually has. Again, leave it to Blizzard to destroy things that people like and then fix things that no one knew even are in the game. Again, Blizzard actually has a tremendously great track record of changing and fixing things literally no one knew was a problem. Like, Blizzard never touches anything that people actually think is an issue, but they will touch everything that no one has ever complained about because reasons. It's almost like Blizzard's end goal is to make everything bad so people can complain about everything.
How much we needed this until we had it. But ultimately, the big thing that Diablo 4 is still lacking at this point is some form of meaningful endgame progression. And it looks like that's what's coming with the expansion in April. Once we get that, then there really won't be much left to complain about. I mean, too many items drop. That's a major problem right now and has been burning me out on the season. Just the loot friction.
What do you mean? It's dopamine. It's dopamine. People like when there's a lot of loot. People like it when there's a lot of loot. Oh, man. I hate Blizzard so much.
Not enough stash space, too much stuff dropping. Most of the time I'm spending is just sorting garbage. But that's going to be solved with the loot filter in the expansion. And I really hope the loot filter operates as an auto-salvage filter since we still need all the crafting materials.
I really wonder if they're going to add a loot filter. Because the reality is it's going to be the same as when Starfield added maps. People just now had a demonstration right in front of them how hollow the game is and how nothing exists there. Because the reality is when you add a loot filter, anyone who has played Diablo 4 for 20 hours is going to set it up for the things that they want, and they're going to see maybe one drop every 20 hours. Maybe if they're lucky. It's not going to be good.
Now, something I've noticed, since players are playing longer this season in general, and they're pushing further, and they're getting more loot than ever before, I think a lot more players are now realizing that once you get your mythics, and once you're just drowning in loot, or once you're killing bosses in under 5 seconds, the magic of it all...
I love how your end game is always like this. This is one of the things I also predicted in Diablo 4. That skills are gonna not have any cooldowns, because this is what they did in Diablo 3. Man, Diablo 3 was actually, in my opinion, a pretty decent game when, you know, you had... I think the Sorceress is a great example. Great example. There was the Archon form. Really good, really powerful, a lot of people played it. And it was a cooldown button that you used to press. And it was great, okay? You pressed it, you felt good. And after that, Blizzard was like, how about we make the Archon permanent? And now everyone can always be an Archon. And the Archon became boring because it wasn't special, because they removed cooldowns. And that's what they did, by the way, for literally everything in the game. Ah, what a damn fucking failure.
All goes away. There's nothing left to get excited about, nothing left to chase. Making things easier and more accessible means you burn out on the game faster. Now, everyone wants the bar lowered to a state where they can reach it. But then once the bar continues to lower...
Now, if everyone wants the bar lowered, that means that your current audience is literally Muppets that should probably be forced into labor.
That's when they realize the long-term harm. But again, I'm hopeful that Lord of Hatred will give us more to chase. The pace of the game has increased dramatically since launch in every way. Yep. Moment-to-moment gameplay as well as progression. And this has increasingly highlighted how much slower the Necromancer is compared to the other classes. That was by design, and maybe that was okay in a slower-paced game, right? Launch Diablo 4. It made sense that Necro's a slow class, but now I don't think it's a good idea to deliberately leave the Necro behind with regards to speed. Maybe it's time we give the Necro a proper mobility skill, coming in Lord of Hatred, you know? Diablo 3's Blood Rush, that was a fantastic mobility skill for Necro. And it's not even just about being able to speedrun content faster, which is a big factor. Necro has pretty much season over season been behind the other classes when it comes to speedrunning T4 content, right? It has no trouble dealing the damage, but damage isn't an issue on T4 when you have sorcerers that are blitzing through multiple screens instantly while also doing all the damage. No, but that's not the only factor. It's also that most of the challenge in Endgame now comes down to avoiding a million explosions. And if you can't move fast enough to dodge those explosions, then you cannot escape them. So mobility becomes essential for both speed farming and for pushing. Stay tuned for tomorrow. I got my updated top 10 builds for pushing the leaderboards, and Necro is in last place. Now we do have signs of the updated skill tree being more transformative of skills, similar to Diablo 3 runes. We see this in the Lord of Hatred.
True, I talked about this. I actually talked this explicitly about this. By the way, but bro, you could figure out that, dude, you could figure out that they Diablo 3'd this also. One of the new affixes that, clip it and ship it, boys, is gonna be plus X elemental damage. They're gonna bring that also back, because now every skill is gonna have a rune that you pick and it gives you an element. Like here you can see lightning, fire. And it's just, again, since the only updates to Diablo 4 are updates that make Diablo 4 into Diablo 3, great job going backwards. I mean, Valve doesn't know how to count to 3. Blizzard only knows how to count to 3 and go backwards after that. Every class is going to have this, which is going to be, in my opinion, honestly, probably the best moment in Diablo, because it's going to give you so many new toys to play with. But again, I don't think it's going to work out, obviously, in the long term, because Blizzard's going to fuck it up. One of the most excited leagues I ever was the boss ability league. You know, where you could use a boss ability and it was really cool. And that thing looked so promising. I talked about this, okay? Diablo 4 bad, but if Diablo 4 good, then I'm gonna say Diablo 4 good. And that league made Diablo 4 just for a split second look good. Because it allowed you to make completely new builds with boss abilities and make them like kind of your main ability, what you do and whatnot. And Blizzard fucking nerfed that. Blizzard destroyed it. They made it so you can't do it any longer before launch. Why? Because I don't know why. Because fuck you, that's why.
Promotional material seems to be 2 sorcerers back-to-back casting Incinerate, and one of them clearly has been transformed from fire into a different element, like maybe lightning. Alternatively, it could be that sets are...
Sees literally lightning coming out of the staff. Maybe lightning, Riker. Maybe. What if this is fire?
Alternatively, it could be that sets are what's changing the element here. We know set items are coming in the form of items that we put inside.
No, we have seen the rune tree. We have seen the skill twig. We know it's just you have a choice to pick the element.
Of a talisman, so very different implementation of set items, but it's a way that avoids many of the issues set items have historically had. Now, we don't know what set items will do in Lord of Hatred, but transforming fire sorcerer skills into lightning could be one potential set effect. You know, that'd be cool. Maybe it's not even lightning, maybe it's arcane damage. Imagine the return of the Veer set that makes you an arcane wizard. But the single biggest complaint in Diablo 4 that we can finally get back to complaining about after bringing this up all the way back probably around Season 2. Where's Madame Black Dye, Blizzard? This is a dark fantasy game for edgelords, and you won't let me paint my drip in edgelord black? Really? I do wonder what the February mystery update's going to be. It may be the reveal of the second class coming with Lord of Hatred, which is likely to be some kind of wisdom-based caster, maybe a warlock or an oracle. More and more, I'm leaning into the whole light versus dark theory, with Skovos being the location of the first civilization where Inarius and Lilith hung out, and the special deluxe pre-order skins having that light and dark theme. And now, what appears to be a leaked in-game world map that German outlet GameStar somehow got their hands on. Hat tip to Silik from Wowhead for showing me this. We can see sort of like an evil hell-looking region on the Skovos Isles, so the Warlock theory is seeming more and more likely. If this map is legit, and it really looks legit.
Blaze Diablo. Oh wow, there's evil. There's evil looking stuff over there. Wow, that's unexpected.
legit. This would be a major retcon of the Scovos Isles, which previously looked like this on a map. Now, it's kind of what I expected though, given that they do have to somehow make it a contiguous region for us to travel across on horseback. And we know that the West Island is said to be volcanic, so that seems to correspond to Skartara, so maybe it's a little bit less hellish and demonic and more just volcano land, but hey. It still seems to fit that fiendish demonic theme. Also, Celestia over here is not something mentioned ever before in the lore.
Okay, anyone want to just Google what these words mean in Latin? I'm pretty sure this is just some kind of Latin ripoff, okay? Into Latin. Okay, let's see if we can actually do this. What is Atanos? Atanos means nothing. Okay, well, so wait. You're not gonna do the... Okay, maybe it's Greek. Maybe it's just Greek. Atanos means Antanos. Okay, what is Atanos? What is Atanos? Atanos or Atanas is primarily a masculine given name to Bulgarian Mediterranean, meaning immortal. Derived from a Greek, obviously. Atanos would also refers to specific title character in a Perisno mod for mountain blade, blah blah blah. That's Atanos or blah, 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 title Third Legion, and less commonly a surname for an Indian art trading company. Man. Okay. So this is our city, I guess. But can that even be a city? I'm not sure. But listen, this is the creativity level that we're talking about. Just translate all of these words into Greek or Latin, or just ask Google what is this, and it's gonna be a thing. Okay, it's like hell. Blizzard is ever creating something original,
as far as I'm aware. But that sure sounds like the home of the Paladins, and Skartara just has that menacing sound to it, right? Scar, yeah. So that's where the Edgelord class is going to come from. But what do you folks think? Sound off in the comments. Now in Path of Exile news, as a follow-up to last week's story about...
Oh, that's it? Path of Exile good, Diablo IV bad. Wow. Well, that was unexpectedly not that much, but then again, it's not... Well, it's Diablo IV. Are you really expecting a lot? So there we go. That was our boy Riker, 10 out of 10. Still Diablo 4 good. Again, we're a little bit away from Diablo 4 bad. Anyway, have a nice day. Bye.